Dadu and Luo Kai are students in the same department as me. Because I smoke. So maybe it's because of the similar smell. In a strange environment, we quickly became good friends. At that time, we were young and frivolous. Physical strength is like a bison running around. And even if you stay up late and run out for a walk. I didn't feel tired when I woke up the next morning. Still attend class, still participate in activities. The big belly is one of us with more ideas. I am an easygoing person like Luo Kai. Many times, such as holidays, such as dinner, when we don't know what to do and what to eat, he can make suggestions that we are satisfied with. So whenever this critical moment, we'll ask him if he has a better idea. That day was no exception. Remember that the weather was cold near the end of the year. Even my thickest pants and jacket are worn on my body. But still feel cold. Class ends on Friday afternoon. The three of us are going to walk and ride a bike to go back to where we live. Discussing where to go at night on the road. At first, the big belly asked if we were going somewhere. Luo Kai and I have been thinking about it for a long time and we don't really want to go. If you have been there, you have been there. I just can't think of any other place. I have no problem with it myself. Anyway, I'm fine if I go out for a drive. Seeing that we didn't have any ideas, the big belly proposed and said, otherwise, we will go to the hot spring with Az and the others after dinner. Luo Kai and I agreed that this is a good idea after listening to it. I readily agreed. Because Luo Kai hasn't soaked him, he feels fresh. The last time I took a hot spring was in elementary school. Plus the weather is so cold, it's very suitable for soaking. So we rode back to where we lived and took a shower. So I set off to have dinner with Az and the others. As they are students from other departments. They met in general education. We made an appointment to go to dinner on Friday night 2 days ago. At the dinner table, they learned that we were going to soak in the hot spring. Immediately said they were going too. So after dinner, our group rode up the mountain leisurely. It took nearly half an hour to arrive on the road. I didn't know it was full until I got there. But the boss said you can leave him a call first. Wait until there is time to come out of the room. Will call me first and we will go there. We had to ride down first. 7 to 11, which is about 3 kilometers away from this hot spring museum, to avoid the cold. But I only waited for 10 minutes. The boss called. There are many cubicles in that hot spring hall. The boss gave each of us a little soap. You can go in and take a bath before soaking. And people who are finished soaking can also go to the living room outside to watch TV and listen to music. Wait for your family or friends. When we finished soaking and were about to leave by bike, Luo Kai touched his pocket and found that he had forgotten to take his phone. Just tell us to wait for him at 7 to 11 first. Said he took it and went over. But we chatted for a while on 7 to 11, didn't wait for him to come. I had to call and ask him to see. But he didn't answer his phone. I just wanted to say that I'll ride over first to see what he's doing. Just as I was about to leave, Luo Kai called. I picked it up and found out that it was from the hot spring owner. He said Luo Kai put his mobile phone in the hot spring room and forgot to take it. Ask us to help him get it back. I want to say, didn't Luo Kai go back and get it? Why did the boss pick up the phone? I told the boss that someone has gone back to get it. Haven't you arrived yet? The boss replied that he had just seen it but he was gone again. I suddenly felt a little strange. Just set off with Big Belly right away. Because Az and the others are still eating. And will leave after eating. So I just left them behind. After I arrived with Big Belly, I walked in to find Luo Kai first. Big Belly urinating in the grass next to the house. As a result, he peed halfway. I saw a person in the pavilion in front of him. He was taken aback. I want to say it's so late now. How could anyone walk over there? He hurriedly ran into the hot spring to find me. Tell me in a low voice. He saw a ghost in the pavilion next to him outside. For a while I didn't know what was wrong, although he lowered his voice. But because of panic, I didn't notice that the volume of speaking was a bit loud. Heard by the boss. He took a flashlight from under the counter and asked if the big belly was real or not. The big belly's very affirmative expression returned to him really. Then the boss went out and turned on the flashlight. We approached and shone towards the pavilion. At first glance, I knew it was Luo Kai lying on the pavilion table. What is he doing over there in such a cold weather? I'll borrow a flashlight from the boss right away. The boss also directly asked me to take over. Then he said next to him that he had just seen him preparing to come in. Suddenly walked away again. Yaosho, that pavilion has been abandoned for so long. Why is he still running? At this time, the guest called the boss inside. The boss went back to work. I just walked over quickly with two people with big bellies. I kept calling Luo Kai when I approached the pavilion. Luo Kai, Luo Kai. But he never responded. Until we walked to him and woke him up. He slowly woke up. His first reaction after seeing us was like being frightened. Very afraid of what we look like. He didn't rest assured until he saw clearly that it was the two of us. We asked him, "What are you doing here?" He squeaked and couldn't answer for a while. I saw it was cold and terrifying, so I pulled him back up there. I returned the flashlight to the boss and thanked him. Then get Luo Kai's phone back. We will ride back to 7 to 11. I bought him 2 Odin steaks and filled them with hot water. Let him warm up. Wait until he calms down and ask him what's going on. He said he went back to get his phone at that time. Before going in, I heard someone calling him next to him. But I don't know who it is. He walked over and left the hot spring hall with electric lights. I saw the upper body of a figure through the moonlight. The thin man said he looked a lot like me. He thought I was calling him over. But he also found it strange that we didn't leave. Why are you back again? Want to say if we are teasing him? Just curious to follow. When he walked to a small slope. There you can see a few people in the pavilion. And someone is calling him. He thinks we are all in there. But he said he walked over and found that the group of people were not us. And it looks weird. Some faces have wounds, like they have been gnawed by animals. Some have broken arms and blood is still flowing. Some heads gone. Those people looked at him coldly. He felt scared and turned around and left quickly. But then I saw us wake him up. He didn't know why he was lying in the pavilion. I feel exaggerated when I hear it with my big belly. How could this happen? I thought he was joking. But looking at Luo Kai's horrified expression, I've never seen him so nervous. I just believed that what he said was true.